Let's take this bad girl to the test flight. Now, for those of you guys who are not aware and you're like, what are you talking about? You can trim almost every plane in the game. That is including, but not limited to, BF-109s, FW-190s, basically everything except for like low-tier Spitfires and some biplanes. You can like pre-trim it. And so a lot of people think that BF-109s don't have aileron trim tabs. They do. They're right there. And if you're in a test flight, you can adjust not only the rudder trim, but also the aileron trim. And you can see, and you're like, oh, the BF-109 doesn't have aileron trim either. Or rudder trim either, but it does. And I think my little, I can't like zoom in enough. It's like right around in here, but I think the camo is like blocking it. But anyway, just trust me, it does. It's right here. So what you do is you come into a test flight and you take off as, you know, normal. Just make a regular old takeoff. No big deal. And you get rolling here. And then we're just going to, you know, get into a level cruise flight at like our maximum combat cruising speed. What I mean by that is like I trim my, so you basically when you're pre-trimming aircraft like this, you're trimming the aircraft for one particular speed. Some people trim for combat speed, some people trim for diving speed, some people trim for cornering speeds, some people trim for climbs. I trim for slight cruise climbs because that's what I'm doing most of the time, you know what I mean? And like I don't like, you know, if I'm in combat, I'm already going to be throwing the stick around anyway. I'm already hyper paying attention. I don't really need my trim to be like perfect in the middle of combat because I'm already putting control inputs anyway. But when I'm cruising and when I'm just climbing and relaxing, you know, being able to take my hand off the stick in order to like use my keyboard or, you know, moderate chat or something like that, or take a swig of water without ending up upside down, it's nice. And since I'm cruise climbing 95% of the time, like if I'm not actively engaged with an enemy, chances are I'm climbing at about 500 to 1,000 feet per minute at about 91% throttle. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set like 91% throttle. And we're going to set a climb. And we're just going to start using this aileron and the rudder. And we're using the rudder trim to get that black ball in the center right there. This little black ball, we want that to be in the middle. And we got to counteract that with a little bit of aileron, so I can feel myself putting right stick pressure. Now we're gonna try to trim for the climb here. Now we don't have VSI. I don't know why they didn't put VSIs in the BF-109 cockpit, but you don't have them. So we just kind of gotta go by feel for climb. And what I'm really looking for is the wings aren't rolling too much. The black ball's mostly centered up. We're maintaining a pretty steady speed. We're not really accelerating or decelerating. You know what I mean? Where plane is trimmed